All right, so we're starting.
Ooh,
So
TVT.
Scan had said he was down for a best of 7. He would play a best of 5 TVT, and then 2 games he said he wanted to try something on Terra with Protoss, but it didn't happen. So we just had the best of 5.
Okay, well, whatever works for them. Let's get this started. So we got our champ here, our defending, reigning champ, Terror. Bottom right corner, Maganda Terran. Is that pink or Maganda? Say pink. We have a challenger, Scan, on the top left corner. It's a TVT, Fighting Spirit, to start this off, Ox. How do you feel about this matchup, Ox?
I know nothing about the SC community, the game. I apologize. I'm way out of my league here. But I do have some questions.
Right.
Is Scan, I've heard he's a great 2 versus 2 player. Is he a really good 1 versus 1 player? Like he can compete with the best foreigners?
I think he's pretty up there. He's either around Terror level or maybe even better. We'll see. We'll see as the game go. But Terror, he been tearing through our participants in the last couple of days. So I have high hopes on him. He's a champ right now. Scan is a challenger. I think it's a pretty evenly matched.
Right, I think Terror has won 2 1v1s and 1 2v2.
No, I think actually he won 3 1v1, right, Prima? I think he won 3, and he won 1 2v2.
Yep. 1, 2. Yeah, you're right. Actually, I make a note of these because I have to make the payments. So that's right.
No,
and
I got you. I got you.
1v1s. Good memory though.
Mhm. Yeah, Terran's pretty good, man. He's a really good Terran for a foreigner. People outside of career. But let's get back to the game. So we both have Barrack opening. I believe there was 11 Barrack. And they both went the gas. They both gassed it at the same time, I believe. But Terror gas finished a little bit earlier. So you probably will have maybe 24 gas or 24 gas more than Scan. Same supply and everything. So Terror might have a factory a second or 2 faster than the Scan is in this case. But notice, Scan took all his SCV off gas after the factory. And so did Terror. How do you feel about this, Ox?
I think everything's going
SCV on gas. Plan. Yep, seems like they both have the same plan. We'll see how this goes.
So the inside joke is I know nothing about the game in general. I can hold my own against the computer, I think. But Banana, who's helping me cast, he knows the 1v1 and 2v2 game pretty well. So
I don't know much more than you do, man. You're just being modest right here.
Sure.
Okay, so we have about 400 mineral. So I guess Scan is about to throw down his second command center. I apologize. And put SCVs back on gas. Terra command center is actually a little bit faster than Scan. Just slightly faster. But the game is pretty even this far. Both are floating their barracks across the map, going to each other's base, trying to see what's going on. That's the beauty between 2 Terrans. Both get to see what each other is doing. Both second factory went down for both Terra and Scan. Very similar build coming out of these two in the first game. They are not taking any risk. No 2-star port wraith, none of that. Standard. This is what I like to see between 2 high-level players.
Oh, that's cool.
Very standard. You can tell they both on the same level when they're both doing the same build, same supply. Almost everything are identical. So we might have a good match right here, folks. Have a very good one coming right here.
Yeah, but Scan is like, you got 2 vultures, I got 2 marines, man.
So yeah, Scan does have 2 more. He made Marine, whereas Terror just went straight into Vulture. That's why his command center was a little bit quicker. I gotcha.
The builds and unit compositions are changing now, huh?
It's a lot different now. The meta is a lot different now. I think we have played enough to follow, but it seems like this is the meta now between the pros.
Shout out to Irish, man. Really been helping out a lot. So much so I have to question if he has a life. Which he does. I think he has a family.
No, I think he has a kid. He has a kid and family. Yeah. I believe so.
Ooh,
at least the last time I talked to
him. A lot of vultures.
Okay, now we can see the differences between these two. Terror went into Goliath and tanks, whereas Scan went on Vulture speed. Vulture speed sort of give you like a map presence, and it allows you to sort of control the middle of the map a little bit more.
Annoy the shit out of your opponent. So he's kind of turtling there, right? Because he's worried about them getting in.
He's the one pressuring. Yes, he has Vulture speed. Terror is going sort of the muscle turn, if you want to call it. Tanks Goliath. But I'm pretty sure Scan is switching to tanks pretty soon, because as you can see, he has 3 add-ons coming on his factories.
Is he gonna lay down mines?
I believe so. I mean,
are they effective against tanks, man? Like, I know Goliaths can counter them pretty well without vision.
Right. But Terra does have his scanners already. He have the scan on his next to his command center. Both of them are ready. Both of them have 90 energy. I mean, okay, so one of them have 50, one the other have 70. So when he moves out, you're gonna have to scan.
Is there such thing as foreign builds and like Korean builds, and is that what we're seeing?
Usually, when I see a TVT, it's always Vulture tanks, unless they see the other guy going Starport, and that's when they start going Goliath. Okay. The thing about Vultures is you get 3 mines, man. They only cost 75 mineral, and they are fast as hell.
Shout out to landowner who owns land where we don't know.
You got the same joke that I put on.
Your room and your mom's house don't count.
So you see tanks coming out. Terror actually started making a lot of vultures. He wants to be on the map too. So the first couple of tanks in Goliath is sort of like the ground army, where it counter to Starport or any wraith that's coming or whatsoever. It's a safer build, but vultures allows you to
take out all those vultures.
I mean, if you have more vultures on the map, then you have more map presence.
That's smart. He's gonna take out the vultures and run away when the tanks come.
Right. And now Terror have to look for the spider mine on the map. You gotta be really careful here. You don't want to misclick and then just everything blow up. That's the thing about spider mine.
I'm trying to figure out what accounts for the supply difference.
Supply differences.
It seems to have kind of like the same number of essential units here.
Maybe more SCVs.
3 vultures, 4 tanks, 4 vultures and 4 tanks.
It's pretty close at this point right now.
Yeah, it looks like it's almost identical, right?
Right.
It must be the SCV difference.
Scan both had identical count of.
Yeah, Scan is just pumping out the SCVs.
Yeah. So we want to see who put down the third command center first. It seems like Scan is trying to take 12 o'clock. And he just did. If you look at the mini map, you can see that Scan have a little bit more map presence with all that mines in the middle and his units in the middle. That's what Vulture's opening and map control will do for you. Allows you to be on the map a little bit more. Sort of control the, dictate where the game is going when you have map presence like that. Same thing for 2v2, man. That's what Speed Zergling do in the early stage of the game. They allow one team to be in the middle of the map and dictate the game. That's all it is in the game of StarCraft. Who controlling what until the other guy take over. So Terra is pushing out, and he's trying to deny 12 o'clock from Scan. Tank positioning is really important in this matchup. One misclick and you run into the tank line, everything will disappear in a second. Need to be very careful. Scan is ahead in supply count, man. About 10 supply ahead. That's very good on Terra, who denied at 12 o'clock, forcing Scan to expand at 9 o'clock. Terra third command center finished. He's floating over to 6 o'clock right now.
Got a drop ship just passing the 9 o'clock mark. Terra is setting up at 6 o'clock, so I think he's going to see any sort of dropship past that area.
What's in the dropship? Do you know? Is that vultures or what?
I didn't actually see.
You did not see it. Okay. Okay, so
it is going to be spotted right now while Terra's clearing mines in the center of the map.
I think it might be 4 vultures if my prediction is not wrong.
Terra's headed back with 2 vultures and 2 tanks just came out. Yeah, you're right.
4 vultures because he want to get rid of the SCVs. Nothing kill SCV faster. Vultures.
I'm not sure at this point of the game, though, it's a very effective strategy. Because you got so many factories up, they got units coming out constantly. You don't really have to send any units back, and you have so many SCVs, right? I think they probably have like over 60 SCVs each.
Yeah. But you have to defend it, or else your mineral line will get.
Did you hear that, Jerry? I was talking with confidence, like I knew what the fuck I was talking about. So Scan is setting up 12 o'clock. It's getting a refinery built there immediately. Gas is essential, right? Like that's the lifeline.
It is very essential in this matchup. Very important. That's why all the good turn they go for vulture tanks, just so they can save the gas and spend on tanks.
There's so much happening in this game. Like I'm focused on one little part, and then there's
we got battle in the middle.
Insane. I feel sorry for Jerry. You have to like observe a TVT between 2 like stellar players.
TVT is actually really intense because you have the tank line, the harassment, and everything that goes on. So prop
as intense as ZVZ maybe, huh?
Prop to Jerry for trying to keep up with all the things that goes on right now. Get back to the game.
Another dropship, 6 o'clock. I'm guessing there's vultures in there.
I'm guessing it's vultures too. Oh, got a Goliath. Maybe just for DPS purpose.
What are the upgrades like? So, Scan has 1 to 2 upgrades.
Okay, so that's the difference. 2 to 1 for Scan, and 0 to 0 for Terra. Why hasn't Terra upgraded? I'm not sure. It's Terra. Our challenger is really strong right here.
That Wraith is going to take care of the dropship.
There's no slouch in this game. Terra look bad because he's 2-1 and Terra's 0-0, but
he is upgrading out of his armory. Terrorist. Scan is 1-2 right now.
I mean, but you're right. You're right. It's 15 minutes mark and Terra's 0-0. We got
Scan has a significant lead in supply.
We gotta put the question: Did he misclick his upgrades, or is he nervous because his first game? We're not sure, but I'm pretty sure the usual Terra would probably have some upgrades right now.
Is Scan mainly a D player?
A what?
Terran? Is that his main race? Somebody told me he's got S rank with all the races.
No, Terran is actually his main race, but I'm pretty sure he's good with the other two also.
I'm guessing these two have played before?
Who, Terran and Scan?
Yeah.
I believe so, man. Terra's is a ladder god, man. He's a ladder warrior. Pretty sure he ran into Scan a couple times.
Banana watches him eating breakfast and then goes to sleep watching his stream.
Okay, that's a little bit too much. Maybe breakfast.
But he's still playing throughout the whole day, isn't he?
He streams a lot. He does streams. He streams a lot, and I do come to the stream whenever I have time. Eating my meal or whatever. Turn on a game of StarCraft for 10 minutes while I'm eating.
I mean, you look at the map and it's just orange, right? And it seems like Terror is reacting to everything that Scan is doing, but he's able to counter it from what I can see effectively. But the whole map is just going to Scan slowly.
I feel like Terror probably has. Terror was probably nervous starting this game. Hopefully, he'll get better as the game goes on, as the series goes on.
Mind you, the way he's been playing, he'll knock out like I'm guessing, right? Like 90% of foreigners.
Yeah. Well, that's game one, folks. Well played.
Creators of Beavis and Butthead are the guys who are involved in that. And then they're doing Bob's Burgers, which I like.
Bob's Burger is pretty good too.
It's a real different kind of show, and I love all the peripheral characters like Mr. Fron, Andy, and Ollie.
Yeah.
Okay, so similar colors, man.
Yep. We have
Maybe
Scan.
it's better to use Tab, Shift.
Yeah, I think Tab Shift will allow red and blue. I think that'll be easier for us to see.
Red would be Scan.
Hopefully Prima is following.
Blue would be Terror.
Yep, that's what I see on my screen. So we have Terror at the bottom right, and Scan at bottom left. And it's not a cross map. This is left against right. So in this case, I think the third will be at 9 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Usually if it's like in this case Scan bottom left and Terror top right, and you will see them taking the third at the mineral only base. But in this case, I think the third will be at 3 and 9 o'clock. If you follow me. The map might cut in half here if we get that far. The thing about this map is, man, the entrance is small. So if you want to do a big attack, you're going to have to go from the sort of like the the third were the mineral base only because from that way you're allowed to have the high ground advantage, and it's a bigger entrance if you go through that way. But if you overpower somebody early enough already and just follow that lead, I think you can go through those two small entrances. But on this map, that's the thing about this map. And if I remember correctly, Zerg loved this map because the way it's laid out.
All right, so shout out to Fuji. I think he's trying to help us set up a 2v2 after this. He said Babo, if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, is available in an hour and 30 minutes. Dandy has declined because the lag would be too bad. So I think we got Scan and Babo who are down for 2v2. Maybe Terror. I'm not sure. Maybe Jengi.
Maybe Terra and Jengi. Yeah, that would be a good match.
Silver also was wanting to do something, but Fuji was telling me he's a caster or something. I'm not sure if he wants to play or what, but hopefully we can get a balanced match featuring these top players.
Right. We want it to be balanced.
We love pursuits, man, and we've been doing a lot of 1v1s lately. They're easier to organize and they're a little more cost effective, but
right. Let's get back to the game.
To observe, I think, for like Jerry. 2v2 is pretty crazy.
So Scan put down his command center way before Terra did. But the difference is here is that Scan is going for a bunker and a later factory, whereas Terra factory is up already with a slightly slow second command center.
Right. So if he was making like a tank and he was planning on sieging, I'm like, all right, so he can deal with that bunker. But if he's just making a vulture,
right,
how is this going to pay off for him?
So the first vulture will allow him to be out there on the map. Terror in this case.
That's why he's putting down a machine shop now.
The machine shop is coming up, but he doesn't have SCV on gas. So he's not doing any starport build or any sort of muscle army for the Terrans, sort of like tanks and Goliath. I think he's going for a third command center here, Ock. If I'm correct. Yes, he put down his third command center right there. And he's gonna float it to the mineral base only to finish. What the vulture did was that it allows him to be out there on the map, denying any SCV scouting. Scan is basically in the dark right now, not knowing what's going on with Terror. It could be a starport that's coming. It could be 2 factory. He does not know. That's what that first vulture is doing for Terror. Scan is sort of playing more of a defensive position, but he has a fast expansion. Not for long, though. Scan going with a 2 starport ox. You might see Wraith in this game. Terror does have an armory coming up. What an army is doing here for Terror is that it allows Terror, it's sort of like a just in case armor, if you know what I mean. Just in case 2 port Wraith is coming, he would have some to counter.
He doesn't know for sure that's happening.
He does not know, Lux. He does not know.
Yeah, his barrack just sort of.
He saw 1 starport, not 2. The second starport is all the way inside. He saw the one on the outer.
And why would Scan make one there? Why not just make them both on the left side?
Why? Because it's sort of like a chess match.
He wants him to see one with his barrack and then fly away.
Right, because there are people out there that would do 1 port cloak Wraith, not 2. Scan is doing 2 right now.
He's gonna understand that. Well, he's only seen 1 right now.
He see 1 Wraith right now, so everything looks like it's a one starport. As soon as the second Wraith showed up, he will know it's a 2-star port. He does have a Goliath out. See, he's not taking much damage. But does he know that Cloak is coming?
And he just wants to reveal his 2 rates now, right? Instead of just like stacking them up.
Right. There's no point in stacking them up. You want to lower the SCV count
Immediately.
Right. You want to get your money worth.
He's got Goliaths. Does that really make this 2 starport build ineffective, or?
I wouldn't say ineffective, but he's in a good position for defending that without losing too much. You also have his third expansion up.
By going 2 starport.
Right, and he have a better factory explosion than Scandus.
So like Terra has 3 factories, and he's making 3 more. That puts him at 6.
He's gonna have 6 total, where Scandus only gonna have 3. He's only able to afford 3 because he went 2 starport.
And he's got 3 tanks, 3 wraiths, and 2 marines.
But the thing between factory only army and starport and factory army, Wraith allow you to see. It give you a better vision, if you know what I mean. It give you the vision. You could sort of micro them while your tanks are siege. See the enemy tank line and pick off whatever you can see within the way.
Right. My newbie guess is Terra's in a better position right now. He's got his 2nd expansion up. He's got a bunch of factories.
Right. In the long run, Terra is in a better position because factory unit or
if Scan is able to come back from this, if you consider it like a disadvantage for him,
you're able to snowball your opponent with factory unit a lot better when you have more factory. So 3 factory will get snowballed by 7 easily. And Wraith are so fragile, they die so quickly that they could be considered non-existent if they are controlled by the wrong player, the bad players. They could die so quickly, disappear the army so quickly.
They have kind of the same speed and range as Mutas, or am I wrong?
Muta are actually a lot more tankier than Wraith.
Like I was gonna say, if you're really good at microing Mutas, you might be really good at microing Wraiths, and I've seen Jengi do that with both, and I was wondering if that's why.
Right, they sort of alike.
So the way these tanks are positioned, he's just going to be able to take them down, right?
I mean, like I say, he could just snowball through it since he has so much more factory unit away.
Right. That metaphor makes sense now. Cloak rates coming through. We have a scan. Yeah, we do.
Terra has 3 scanners right now.
Oh, can he kill that Goliath? He needs more Goliath.
Yes.
This is major if he loses all these tanks, right?
That was the Wraith. Right. Terra need to pull those tanks back ASAP. Bring some Goliath. Bring some Goliath out there to protect them. Okay, so I have 2 Goliath out there on the map going to the tank line. Can't afford to lose those tanks like that.
Similar APM from both, if that means anything. Terra looks like he has more minerals, but I'm actually told there's sometimes a delay in the resource numbers that we're seeing.
What kind of delay?
Or that might just apply to replays. I'm not sure.
What kind of delay? Like they're not macroing. They're not spending the resources. Are they like 2K in the stream right now?
Like they might have spent the resources already, but it's just showing in the resource box. I'm not sure how true that is. It might apply to replays if I misunderstood. I was reading the StarCraft forum, man, and people said that really needs to be fixed. There's some
Right.
problems with observer mode.
Yeah, there are some glitches in this game. Has never been fixed. I think they've been around for the replay glitch. I think most of the older replay get glitched for some reason. I think every time Battle.net update Brew War, it's probably under the previous version, and that's probably what happened. The replay is too old.
Huge army coming down. Similar supplies, though, eh?
Similar supply.
Here comes Scan. Not sure if it's going to be too late. He's got +1 on his tanks. Blue Terror doesn't have any upgrades yet. That sort of evened out.
Mm-hmm.
He's been doing this on one expansion for the most part, right? Terror has had his second expansion for a while now.
Mm-hmm.
He's floating a command center to 3 o'clock, and there's an SCV that's going to spot that.
Okay, so Scan lost all his wraith in the middle right here. That's what I meant when I say if you don't pay attention to those wraith 24/7 or most of the game, they'll disappear from the army. But he got his money worth for
You think
what
so?
their cost. I think so. I mean,
They're like 150 minerals each and 100 gas?
they were built from maybe 5 minutes, 6 minutes into the game, and then lasted to 13 minutes. I think those 5 wraith worth the money.
It's almost like Scan doesn't care about the expansion without a, what do you call it, geyser? To make a refinery. He just went straight one where you can make a refinery.
Yeah, the thing about TVT is you want as much gas as possible, so I think Terran would prefer a gas expansion over a non-gas expansion. But
Took out a few SCVs here. Terra's second expansion. Terra did get his third expansion up at 3 o'clock.
his gas expansion, his third gas expansion.
Scan is starting to expand at 11 o'clock. I think Terra's vultures there.
So we have a very good game going on here. We might see a map split between these two, the way the game is going. Can we see Battle Cruiser? That's the question.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be awesome, wouldn't it?
He's got the starports, right?
Yes.
And Terra just made 3. I didn't even notice that.
Both of them have the starports up. Terra is actually putting down his science facility right now.
Just noticed that.
Scan already have it.
So that must be, unless he's making a vessel. But no, you wouldn't make a vessel, right? You just use Scan.
I think in this case, I think Scan all you need at this moment. But vessel might come into play later on.
So there's a bit of a supply difference.
Huge difference. About 30 supply difference.
I'm not sure if that matters much in TVT.
It does, but it depends what you do with your unit.
Ooh. Terra looks like he's going to get some of those SCVs at 11 o'clock. If Scan
He's laying down the mine right now. Go after the SCVs. This is huge. Those SCVs are so valuable. Instead of spending money on SCVs, you could be making vultures or a tank.
Scan is +2 on his attack. He didn't upgrade armor.
Now, one thing that Scan have going his way are the upgrades. That's one thing that he does have in his favor. Upgrades are rolling in for him, and I believe that Terra +2 attack is just started for him. And he need to put out a second army as soon as possible. get that armor going. But he is way ahead in supply-wise. TerrOru actually took both of his top right expansion. So half of the map is already his. Scan is still working on his. No, he actually got both of them up also. The map is basically split in half. But TerrOru does have that third mineral only base only to him. And it's been mining for a little while now.
Awesome.
Do you see that 4-star port at his third mineral base only? He's switching the rate.
Right, yeah.
DCs might come into play later. But would this catch Scan off guard? Those Wraith? Now, where will he go with those Wraith? Once he get about like 12 of them, maybe 15. I believe they go on top left, where that gas expansion is. If you don't have enough
we got
enough turret.
three people observing here, and what you see on the screen is coming from Prima's end. So me and Banana might be talking about some other stuff, but hey, at least you know what's going on.
If you don't see those Wraith coming and do enough turret, one of those expansion on the top left might be gone.
Where are those rates, man? There's so much shit going on in this game.
You will see it right now at the battle. Boom. Hallelujah. Here they are. Surprise, surprise.
Surprise, motherfucker. Actually,
surprise,
yeah,
motherfucker. Surprise.
only one Goliath's there.
Only one Goliath. Hello. Better pull back.
Yeah, that helps out a lot.
No, you gotta put them back, TerrOru. It's Wraith are really expensive. The map is cut in half. TerrOru has Wraith.
He's got a physics lab on his science facility.
Yep. I feel like BC is coming. We might see BC's Ox.
No, nobody makes nukes, right? That's too much to ask for.
I think that's like 2002 stuff right there, where Boxer introduced the inbound Terran into the game with nukes.
He was kind of throwing there too, right?
Like, Slayer Boxer, bro. I saw his stream this morning. What a legend he is. Shout out to Slayer Boxer.
I remember the first foreign event. It was GG99 Slayer. I've mentioned this before against Slayer Boxers.
Right, I heard it before.
You're the European cat. You remember GG, man? They were LT.
Yeah, I seen him around a couple times.
Ooh,
Here we have a battle in the middle. Scan know the timers on him. He gotta do something. TerrOru has air control with this Wraith.
He's got +2 upgrades, and Scan is 1-3.
He just basically suicide into the tank line, man. The timer was on him, and he had to do something, and he didn't get much from it.
I can understand why they declined the best of 7. This is crazy, man.
It is pretty crazy.
Like, an average game is at least 15-20 minutes. This might go on for a very long time.
Maybe possibly an hour or 2, even 3. 2 to 3 hours, possibly. We have good games like this.
We didn't really consider this when we were asking for a best of 5 and not trying to make it a best of 3.
TVT is a matchup of positioning.
Different beasts.
Because you do not want to run into the tank line. So the game actually drag out a lot longer than a lot other mirror matchup. Like, let's say ZVZ. It doesn't. I don't think it could drag out this long. But people improved, man. And I've seen a couple games that are actually really long for ZVZ. I seen Blackman Poland play a 45-minute ZVZ.
Nobody's taken me on my offer yet. This is supposed to be an inclusive kind of democratic thing, so it's cool that everybody's helping organize show matches. I like to extend an invitation to cast with us sometime. It'd be cool to have just different people coming through and casting, shooting the ship.
Right, guys.
Like DM or
Y'all need to come join Ox for a casting session. Ox does not bite. Don't be scared.
It's an inclusive thing. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not trying to take over or gain from this. Like if this can take a life of its own, that'd be great. If it can generate even a little revenue, which I doubt it would go straight back to these show matches for people to watch and for players to participate on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, that's one. That's one thing that that Team TQ is trying to let the community know is that we do not keep the money. Anything that goes onto the stream, any donation, any support that goes onto the stream will be given back to the community. We want to have great players like Scan and Terror in our show match. Anybody out there that are good to be featured on our stream.
Players. We're not trying to get our name, and I just put TQ in like the name of show matches because I've always liked Think Quick. I think it's a cool tagline, like T with the capital Q, and just the idea of Think Quick, like it's clever, you know what I mean? And the show matches are all about thinking quick, so it's not. Oh, we got Volks out from Scan, and Terra has a shitload of minerals. Holy fuck!
Terror does have how many BC?
And a lot of gas.
3.
Oh, he's got some BCs.
He did make 3 BCs, but you know how many starport he have in total? 10.
Did he overmake starports?
I think he have the resources. He have the resources and able to afford that. But
the match should split, you know. If Red takes 12 o'clock, it's pretty even in terms of the expansions they all have, right? Unless I'm wrong.
Right. One thing I want to mention is that Terror took 6 o'clock. He's doing distance mining. He only need gas. So that's one thing he has that is going for him that put him ahead of Scan. In a TVT, that doesn't mean much.
Right.
Because supply-wise, they are even. Upgrade-wise, Scan is ahead. One thing that Terra does have going in his favor is he have 1 extra gas more than Scan.
Is that
he
right?
does have 3/3 attack. Right. He have 1 more gas than Scan does at the 6. Now, if he can manage to take the 12 o'clock gas too, he's 2 gas ahead.
This is kind of impressive that Terra is able to do this without any armor upgrades, no? He just has.
I mean, in a TVT, I think armor is. I don't want to say useless.
He's got so much minerals and gas. I guess he just didn't do it, right? It wasn't some sort of strategic decision to be like, I'll save the money from this and use it on something else.
Of course, you want your army to be as strong as possible with all the upgrades, but I feel like attack is a lot more important. Let's say instead of 4 shots of tanks in order to kill another tank, now you only need 3.
Huge drop right now.
Huge drop coming.
Going to, what is that?
To top right. Top right. The reason why he's going to top right is he want to take out that high ground base and just take out. It's sort of like a two birds with 1 stone. If you know what I mean.
That makes sense. That's smart. And you got right in there, man.
You got right in there. Slip through.
I noticed that a theme in their games is Terra is kind of in a way reacting to Scan. Scan's the instigator. You know?
I don't like that, man. I don't like that because Terra was ahead earlier.
Oh, he's not even going to help his base. He's just going to keep going ahead.
He says, "Screw it." I mean, there's no point to trying to get that 1 o'clock back.
I didn't even see the starports at 1 o'clock, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 there.
You're just gonna run into the tank line and suicide your whole army if you're trying to save 1 o'clock. So I like what Terra decision. I like what he chose
right?
to counter. But
Right.
Scan have some. His upgrade for the factory unit is so good. He would have a very good reinforced army to defend against the.
And now Terror, his minerals have come down to about 1,000. Scan, it's gone up 4,300.
Now Terra is back down to only bottom right base at the 6 o'clock. That put Scan ahead with a drop rate. The drop done so much damage. It took out 3 expansion, 3 valuable expansion.
Those two battle cruisers at 1 o'clock, they're going to take out those tanks. Terror has a command center made in that area. He could probably lift it off to 12 o'clock where his tanks and Goliaths are.
But at what cost, though, man? He lost 3 base,
Yes.
and he couldn't even kill one of Scan. He's trying. He trying to get that top. Trying to do something to the top left. I think it's a little bit too late now.
I think integrating the battle cruisers with his army in a more effective way would have been good. Like he's got almost 12, I think, starports. That's a lot, right? And they're not always producing shit.
Man,
Scan did all that with just 2 starports. He made all those drop ships.
all those drop ships. And he had 3 Valkyrie to escort those
I'm
drop
sorry. He's
ships.
got a shitload of starports at 11 o'clock. My bad. No, he's got a shitload there too. So I don't know. Maybe that's a thing in TVT. You just make a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Shout out to Rolanam saying Scan was behind and he's making a comeback.
He was. At one point, Terra was at 156. Scan was at 110. And he should have just stuck with what he had and just steamrolled through. I feel like Terra, Terra, bro.
This is a big army, though. He's got battle cruisers. He's got a lot of tanks. Is he just going to drop in the middle of it? He lost a bunch of Goliaths. I think he's going to clean this up.
He did, man. He did.
So
that was a really nice fight for Terra in
that
the
was
middle
really
of the map
bad
right
to
there.
Scan.
But Terra does not have any resources to support, to reinforce, to sort of muscle through the top left, sort of bring him to the victory because he lost.
He hasn't lifted off with command centers just to go to a new base and start mining from there. He doesn't have that many SCVs either.
He lost the 3 most valuable expansion he had. Now Scan says, screw the low ground expansion. He just want to save the high. Because when you have the high ground, easier for you to just build one command center. Low. If you lose the high ground, you will lose the low ground. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think he's got enough battle cruisers to take care of 11 o'clock. There's just a few turrets there, a few Goliaths. Those
Scan
4
had
battle
4K
cruisers,
mineral. 4K mineral in his pocket, though. He's only lacking gas.
This is kind of a close game, am I wrong?
It is. It's a good game.
Like trying to figure out who's got this? I don't know.
Losing the 3 expansion to the drops was painful for Terra. And it might have cost him the game.
This is a great game, someone says. Shout out to Rolla. Scan needs to take 12, needs gas big time. I thought Terra could take 12 o'clock. Yeah, so Scan's losing all his expansions.
That's right. Terra need to pull something out right now.
CVs.
He still have top left, though, Ox. He still have top left.
Right, and just that mineral expansion.
But I want to go back to the 6 o'clock expansion of Terra. That's what keeping him in the game. That farm mining.
The gas?
The gas and the mineral only. It's keeping him in the game because he's getting resources. That's the only spot that he's getting resources
for, man. Right? Like, there's no tanks preventing him.
I mean, he could, but he probably had played a game that the other guy's camping right on top of his high ground and shoot down, and it could reach the tanks. If you know what I mean.
Right.
your opponent high ground. It could reach that. So
A
it
lot of
could be
raids.
something in the past. But you're right. He could lift it up and get mineral faster if he chose to.
A lot of raids. I think the battle cruisers aren't the best idea unless they're supported by Goliaths. He might want to secure an expansion now, right? Instead of like being aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's trying to do that at 12 o'clock, but he lost a bunch of SCVs to those vultures. And now they're fighting in the middle. Scan is getting sandwiched. He's making a bunch of raids at his 11 o'clock base.
This might be it right here, Ox. If he loses army in the middle, it might be it.
He doesn't have that many minerals, right?
But those BCs are coming through clutch.
The rates are 233. He's trying to get away with his battle cruisers.
Now, if he loses these battle cruisers right here, it might be game.
How many can he take out? They both have stellar upgrades. I mean, his mineral problem is a real issue. And Scan is going to get back his expansion at 11 o'clock. Lack of minerals is a real problem for Terra right now.
It hurts. It hurts that he lost 3 expansions to 1 drop.
Scan is making a command center at 12 o'clock.
That's GG. Was a very good game, regardless.
He must have, right?
Very well played from both players here.
Yeah, I feel bad that we didn't really recognize how exhausting TVTs are for them. What's like most Terran players, their weakest matchup is TVT?
I mean, Terrence Imba. You have to have another Terran. I have to have another Terran to make Terran less Imba. So we're going to our third game here. We have Scanner bottom left, Terra top right. On Eclipse. One of the most balanced map out there right now. Shout out to the map creator. This was a great map.
Who was the map creator?
Now, Ox, one thing I want to talk about is the egg at the expansion. I remember you mentioned it the other day. Why was there an egg there?
Yeah.
Why was there an egg there? And you and you suck does not know why there's an egg there. Now the egg, what it does is that it allows the Protoss to wall off in PVZ. Like, Zergling fit through almost anything, even 2 Nexus.
But it's like you can make it narrow, right? They
I'm
made it
joking.
there so that you can change it, yeah.
But what the egg does for you, it allows you to have a tighter wall as a Protoss, and you're able to kill it when you have like a bigger unit like Dragoon or Archon, and you need them to get out. It allows that access. That's what the egg does.
Right, it's like a feature of the map you can actually change because there's no other way to.
Right.
It's smart. It's a smart idea to include eggs in.
It's
map,
good. It's
right?
definitely good.
But not like what's that map? Jerry's favorite map is Intercoven because there's no fucking way to escape from your base apparently because they got the webs and shit.
Yeah, I think the map creator for that map was pretty creative there.
We're hoping somebody fixed it. Like Jerry loves that map. Me and him played for like 30 minutes. We couldn't find each other.
That map was crazy. It's crazy. The first time I saw it, I was like, "What is this?" I think
Like,
that's when I first came back to Brew War too.
there's certain parts you can break out, but then the shit, like where you're supposed to break out and there's webs over it, I'm not sure what you're saying.
Right, and ground unit are not they're not able to attack under the web, right?
Yeah,
So
so I guess that's the catch.
I think I seen a ZVZ somewhere between I think it was DM pre and dog. I forgot VT dog or something, and it was a 45-minute ZVZ. And the guy had a hidden hatchery expansion and made mass sports, and he came back and win. I think it was on a Brew War Clan League or something. It was one of the features, sort of like a highlight for the Brew War Clan League. ZVZ on that map. But anyway, let's get back to the game, Ox.
Right.
Scan is doing the same build here. Why not? Why change it if it's not broken? Somebody always tell me that.
And Terra looks like he's doing the same build, right?
Yep. But
Except he's making a
except
factory.
a fast add-on. No vulture. You remember what you said last game? Why not tank push it? Is that what we might see coming here, Ox? Fast siege? Put some pressure on Scan for being greedy?
Oh, he found his factory out there.
But you gotta roll the dice. You gotta risk it. There's no going back no more.
I think it's going to finish up before his Marines can kill the SCV, because that's major, right? If he can at least lift off.
No, he's not lifting arm. He's going for it, man.
Yeah, so
It's coming.
like it would suck if you haven't built it completely. I'm saying you got to keep sending SCVs to like finish it off, and the guy could be making Marines, I'm guessing.
He made another add-on. Second factory. So are we seeing 2 factories tank push here? Is that what we're going to see? Yep, tank popped out. Siege coming up. Second add-on is about to finish. So 2 tanks popping at a time. Factory finished for Scan. Threw down a starport. Add-on coming in for factory.
Is he going to siege like? You see that little area in between the second factory and Scan's expansion?
Nope. He's going after the bunker.
Oh, he's
going to
somewhere else. Yeah, you're right.
I don't think tank can actually reach from behind.
Ooh, he's getting these out
ground.
fast.
But one thing I want to mention is that Scan starport is finished. A Wraith should be in the production sometime soon. So Scan realized his starport finished. He need to make a Wraith ASAP. Because the way to defend this is that he want to get siege himself, and he want to have air control. But Scan, pressure's on him. He's waiting for that siege to finish. He's praying to God right now. Siege to finish up.
All he needs is one game to finish this off.
No, he need more than that. Because Terra's pumping from 2 factory. Armies coming down from Terra.
And he's got vultures with speed.
Siege finish.
Are we going to see a PG from him and mines?
Might be a quick one here, Ox.
Oh my god, what happened? Mines didn't even explode.
What? Terra and Siege.
He just doesn't have vision, right? Well, actually he does, I'm sorry. His barrack is...
He held.
At me.
Whoa.
And he's using mines. That's incredible playing by Terra.
His vulture is getting into the mineral line. But that was cleaned up. Very nicely done from Scan.
The Wraith, though.
The Wraith will give...
Wow, how did that happen?
Very, very
in my mind, I feel like Terra had that, but I guess it was just such a...
I think against a lower tier player that would possibly work.